guys, and welcome back. Today I'm back to do some back planning for Saturday the 24th. But before I get into that, let me tell you a little bit about this new series that we're going to be doing here on YouTube, and it's going to be called #ODBJ, Our Different Budgeting Journey, started by April. Budgeting April, you guys probably know her. We're going to be answering a couple of questions through the month of October, mostly related to budgeting, but I thought it would be fun to share my planning as I answer the questions, because you guys know I often don't know what to talk to you guys about besides actually what I'm planning. So I figured it would be such a great idea to incorporate answering those questions to my planning. So let me tell you about the book that I'm using, or that I used for this week. I use this boho theme from Craft Smart, and this is a brand by Michaels. I got this a long time ago. It was $5, and they have such cute stickers, so a lot of kits can be made and used from this $5 book. So I did pull the stickers that I wanted to use from the book so I can have them ready. Let me show you my week and how cute it turned out, you guys. I mean, super cute. So I have Monday over here. Look at that, how cute it is. Then I have Tuesday, and I have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Like I said, back planning for Saturday. So let me take that out, and let me tell you a little bit about the questions and how it's going to work. We're going to be answering 5 questions, like I said. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start and set up my planner, okay? So the question for the week is why? Why did I start budgeting? So my journey really starts way before I started YouTube. I think I started about 3 years ago, actually budgeting my money and paying attention how I was doing things and what could help us, you know, to change things, because what we were doing was not helping and was not working. So it really started about 3 years ago. And the main reason that we started was because there was too much stress. We had way too much stress because we had so much debt and we had no idea what to do. And the worst part about it is, I was in charge of the finances. My husband trusted me and let me take full control of our expenses and our budget. And although it wasn't all my fault, we racked up thousands of dollars of debt together. I was responsible for paying that debt, and I was not doing that. So that's what I'm going to be talking about for the first week. So there was too much stress. We had not enough money. We had a lot of debt. When I started this way back, I started with about $20,000 in debt. If you guys have been following me here on YouTube since I started my YouTube channel when I had about $10,000 of debt. That's when I started my channel, and I said this is going to help me and motivate me, you know, to continue on, because I kind of felt like I was staggered and not doing as good as I could. A lot of stress, and we decided that we had to do something because all this stress, no money, all these bills piling up, debt, because if you guys know, bills and debt are completely different. So you have your debt, you have your bills, and you have to figure out how to make everything work. And that's what we were having trouble with. So when I talk about stress, I mean, if you guys have debt, you know how stressful it is to have debt. And when it is so much debt, you sometimes feel overwhelmed, consumed by how much debt you have, and it's just so overwhelming. So we had no money. Every time we would get our check, everything would go to pay off our debt, because we had at least 10 credit cards. And the thing is, when you think about getting a paycheck, you're like, oh, my money. No, that was not our money. That money was already spent even before we got it. So we decided that that was not working for us. So it was causing a lot of stress in our marriage. And you guys know, like any stressor in your life, it's just corroding, you know, at the core of a relationship, because you bicker and you argue and you're like, no, you didn't do this, I didn't do that. You know, you go back and forth trying to blame one another for not contributing or doing your part. So we really felt that it was causing us a lot of stress in our marriage. So, and the thing is, we got ourselves into this problem. You know, we were recklessly spending on our credit cards just because we had the credit. So, you know, credit card companies are like, here, go ahead, use this, spend this amount of money. We're going to let you use it. And here we were, you know, yeah, we needed it. At some point in time, we had to use our credit cards, but we started not using it just for what we needed, like an emergency or something. We were like, oh, we need groceries, let's put it on the credit card. Oh, we didn't have enough money for gas this week, let's put it on the credit card. Oh, we need to go to the doctor, let's put it on the credit card. So all of that started to add up, and you know, we were where we were. And then it was getting worse. We were like at a point in our debt, I guess, that we were like, well, we already have all this debt. What does it matter if we add another $100? So we would, you know, go to Target and be like, oh, I want this, I want that. We would get this. We would get this for our kid. And then it was just like we were just recklessly adding more debt into already piling up debt. And we were just really so reckless that we wanted kind of like that buyer's adrenaline or buyer's high, you know, kind of to make ourselves feel better. And that's the worst thing about it, you know, trying to make yourself feel better by adding more stress to what's already causing you stress. And we were like, well, what is it gonna mean if we add another couple $100? We bought useless things. We bought things we didn't even like. We would just, I don't know, it was just, sometimes I don't understand what we were thinking. And it wasn't until something clicked, you know, that we had to decide if we wanted to change or continue the way we were doing. What we were doing wasn't helping us. So we were like, what is it going to take for us to realize that what we're doing is a vicious cycle? Let me tell you a story. This happened many times when I was sleeping at night. I could say sleeping, but sometimes I couldn't even sleep because it was so stressful thinking about all the bills, all the debt that I had, and it just kept piling on and on and on. So the story I was going to tell you is, oftentimes, you guys know, if you don't have enough money in your bank account and you already set a payment to go through for the next day, you know you're going to be hit with an overdraft fee. So oftentimes, I would tell my husband at 11 in the night, go deposit these $30 or $100 or whatever I knew that I was not going to have enough to cover for the next payment, to go deposit it to the ATM at the bank. Oftentimes I would resort to loaning money from my parents, my sister, anybody who would loan me money, because I needed actual cash. I couldn't use a credit card to pay off a credit card. So I would resort to loaning money from my family members and using that to pay off my debt. And those times were so stressful. My husband would be like, if you know you have to pay this, why do you wait until the last minute to tell me that I need to deposit this to the bank. And he would come from work, you guys, you know, he's tired and he had his things to do at work and all of that. And here I am piling on more stress. And that's why I tell you, having debt is stressful. Here I am piling more stress onto him, telling him, oh, go to the store, you know, don't use your debit card. Don't even buy a single item. Don't even buy a drink at the store or anything. And because we were not going to be able to pay it. So he was like, why do you wait until the last minute to tell me that I need to go deposit this and make this payment? And so that's what I mean. It was causing us stress and it was just overwhelming. So that happened many, many times where I had to tell my husband to do that. And that was really causing a lot of stress in our relationship. And we would often resort to finger pointing, you know, no, you didn't do this, you did this, and this and that and that. And if you have a partner or a significant other that, you know, you share your expenses with, it can lead to a lot of stress, because sometimes as selfish human beings, we don't want to take responsibility for our actions. And we resort to saying, no, well, you are the person who didn't do this, or you are the one who didn't do that. And it's just like a recipe for disaster, because nobody ever wants to feel like they're being attacked, you know? And that's really what we were doing to each other. We were attacking each other, and we were both part of the problem. So our debts continued to get worse and worse, and we racked up our debt up to $20,000, like I said. And we just felt like we were drowning. We had no way out. We felt like we were the worst people in the world because we couldn't take care of what God had given us. And we felt that we were being bad stewards with what He had given us, and we should be able to be more responsible, and we should be doing what we have to be doing, because we have this little person. At the time my kid was really young, we had this little person that we had to take care of, and we were being so reckless with our finances. And it was just like a moment that we realized, or we actually, I don't know, our brains clicked, and we said, we cannot continue to do this, because it is affecting every single area of our life. We didn't have enough money to pay our bills, to pay our credit cards on time. We had so many late fees upon late fees upon late fees, you guys, that I don't even know how we managed to make the minimum payments. Oftentimes I was scrambling to find enough money to make our minimum payments, literally like $35, you guys. We couldn't scrounge up $35 to pay off, let's say, our Target credit card. And it was so stressful. So we had no fun. That's what we felt like. We felt like we had no fun. We had no money, because every time that check would hit the bank, it was already spent. It was gone before we even had it in our hands. Because what I would do is I would set my payments to automatically be taken out of my account, because I would forget. I would forget that I had to do a payment, because when you're dealing with 10 plus credit cards and they all have a different due date, you're not keeping track of everything, especially when I wasn't budgeting. It was all in my head. I would have nothing in writing, you guys. That's why now I love my pen and paper, and I keep track of every penny that I spend. So that really caused a lot of stress. And it was just, it took us a long time to actually realize that what we were doing was just causing more problems and more stress, because we're really just putting a band-aid on the situation that we had. Because when you have all this debt, all these credit cards, you know that what you're doing is trying to stay afloat. You're really just swimming against the current, because the credit card companies add a late fee. They add like another fee upon the late fee. And if you had, like, let's say we had a lot of credit cards where we had like, say 12 months, right? No interest. I'm gonna tell you that story about, we had that credit card when we got our furniture from Living Spaces, and we were so dumb. We were already in debt, and here we are going into more debt. Like, why? You know? And we got, I don't know how we even got approved, and we racked up like $3,000 just to furnish our apartment. And we had about, I think, 15 months no interest. But what they don't tell you, that for those types of credit cards, the interest accrues, which means that if you don't pay it off in those 15 months, everything that you owe from the beginning of whenever you got your credit card, you're gonna have to pay interest on everything that whole year. So here we are 15 months later, and we get a bill and literally add $1,500 more to that bill, because we didn't read the small print. We didn't see that what we had originally signed was saying that we were responsible for paying interest on that if we didn't complete the payments in 15 months. So it was definitely a very stressful time in our lives, and I would not wish that upon anybody, because you guys don't know how much we had to sacrifice. But when I think about it, everything that we sacrificed was because we were reckless. So we were reckless with our money, with what God had given us. So now here we are paying the price and not liking it. We did not like that we had no money. We did not like that we were, having to pay this money back. We felt like, oh, these people, the banks, they're taking all of our money. And let me tell you, banks do take advantage. They take advantage of your situation. And although you need credit for everything in this life, they do take advantage. They prey on people because they know that you're going to spend when you need it, And that was the thing. A lot of the times when we get into debt, we do feel, or we think, that we need it or it's an emergency. And when in reality, a lot of the times we could do without them. So when I tell you that I don't use credit cards, that's the reason why I don't use credit cards. Because it cost me too much stress, too much pain, and I did not enjoy it. So that's going to be my first part of sharing my budgeting journey here on YouTube. If you enjoyed my you know, chatting away with you guys. Do come back for the next videos. I'm going to be posting them on Wednesday. So it was perfect for when I do my plan with me's. And I hope you guys come back.